Hello, teacher and everyone. My name is Huy. I'm present for Nguyễn Hoàng Huy, Cao Thị Nga, and Đoàn Ngọc Yến Nhi for present about the tool control chart tool in Minitab. So for the first one, the tool we use AAC chart tool. All the statistics have been copied from the Excel, and here we have the Excel from the uh, the data from the Excel from the week 1 to week 30, week 27, the sample, and all the data has been in order. So for using C tool, firstly we're gonna choose the staff. About the staff, we're gonna use control chart, and in control chart we're gonna use attribute chart and click on the C for choosing C in control chart. After clicking in the variable, we're gonna choose column 2, which contain each one for S variable. In the C chart option, in the limit, we're gonna enter -2, -1, 1, and 2 for separate on the scope on the right of the chart. Click OK, and we're gonna have a chart. We're gonna use view and output only for screening charts. As can be seen on the chart, there 6 point that's L of that's L violates to the principle L of control in chapter 5. That's on the point here L of the control limit. We have a control limit here is 44.87, and the lower control limit is 12.69. About the central line, we have 28.72, and these charts violate some principle in a principle L of control. The first one is number 1. Any value that's out of the control limits in the week 1, week 3, in the sample 1, 3, 6, 14, 20, and 27. This chart still violates in number 2. 2, 2, 3 constitute the point fall out in the zone A in the same side of central line. We have in the sample 10 right here that we got 2 points that have falling in the same side of zone A, which are related in the same side of central line. And this chart still also violates the rule number 6. There's so many points that fall in the central line. That's in the zone C, that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 7 point. That's what too small. That was too less as a total. Next part, we move to the next tool. The next tool is IMR tools. That we're gonna on the statistics has been copied from Excel. Got here, yes. So for this task, an IMR chart is also known as an SMR chart, is a combination of two charts, individual and moving range. When the data collected, when we gonna use the charts when the data collected is continuous, or only one data were measured in a one subgroup. When data is obtained, it takes a long time to measure. To monitor process performance before and after improvement. And for the last one, that measurement system is too expensive, like destructive testing. So for using the IMR chart on the mini tab. Firstly, we're gonna click on start. In start, we're gonna choose control chart. In control chart, we're gonna use variable charts for individual, and we're gonna click on IMR. So for variable, we're gonna choose column 2, which included in each one data. For IMR option, we're gonna in the limit, we're gonna enter -2, -1, 1 and 2 for separated the scope and the width. For for and okay, we click on OK. So after OK, we're gonna in view output only for have a better screen of chart. Firstly, we gotta use we have two charts. We're gonna see in the moving average. We're gonna moving average value here is 0.52512. The upper control limit is 1.674, and the lower control limit is around 0. So in the moving average chart, it seems that on the point has been uh, uh, disturbed very clear, and on the point here is have the same widened grip. For the bus, it's still violate on some principle in principle of control in chapter 5. Last in the rule number 6, that there were less point that has been found in the MR. You can see what you have to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for all small 26 sample. Next up, we're gonna move into individual value. That's gonna the average value is about 2.242. The upper control is 3.6, and lower control is 0.8. So we're gonna look. We have take a look on the individual value. That it have the same problem with the moving average, that there are so less point that's falling in the zone C. Moreover, that there were no point that out of control. For on the abnormal point, we have to eliminate this, or we have to have a solution to deal to solve all the problem related to our data and statistics. Next part, we move to the trust tool for charts of for control charts A, charts of and B. So for all the static and data has been copied from the Excel. We're gonna do 3 columns. The first one is sample, the second column is N, the third column A and BA. For using Minitab to calculate the NBA of control chart, firstly we're gonna click start. In the start, we're gonna use control chart, and in the control chart, we're gonna choose that attribute chart, and in the attribute chart, we're gonna click N and B. For the first one, the variable, we're gonna choose the column 3, which contain the data of the NBI. For the group size, we're gonna choose the column 2. That's we had data the sample N. And in the entity chart option, in the limit part, we're gonna enter -2, -1, 1 and 2 for separate on the scope and the white. OK, click OK. View output only for have better screen on the chart. So in the chart that we have uh, the average, the centralized here is 22.1. The upper control limit is 35.4. Lower control limit is 8.8. It seems that we have one point that evaluates on the rule number 1 in the principle of control in chapter 5. There was a point that fall out of the control limit. That is the one. And for the week 7, that we have a point that on small move out for the limit control, which means that the data is very unstable, and we have to give some solution to eliminate or to solve the problem for the data that has been affected on the chart.
Hello teacher, my name is Nguyễn Trần Xuân Yên. Today I will show you how to run U-chart data in Minitab. First, what is a U-chart? The U-chart is the quality management to use to the control the number of defects in the manufacturing of service process. When apply the principle out of control, reading the data on the U-chart become very important to make effective decision. The next is the U-chart, the use of the U-chart. The first, locating quality project and the next spot gen and the fluctuation and reduce weight. The last, improve production efficiency. Now I will run the data U-chart. The first I chose task. The next is a control chart. Pay on the output data we see. Since the sample size are not equal, the control limits are different. The average number complaints was 0.1757. Subs here 2, 2, 4, 11, 20, 17, 22, and 29 failed because they were out of control, and there are six contested point lying on one side of the center line. Before the process is out of control, management should identify and the correct and factory that contribute to specific code. This next is system. Uh, the data of remaining six and the also analysis expo. Thank thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Nguyễn Hoàng Thi Thơ, and now I'm gonna run the data from the file bd bar I. You can see here we have 5 variables, so that's why we chose this x bar R chart to run the data. Now I'm gonna open this file on the mini tab. Here, and we chose the file and open it. We're gonna use the control chart to run the data. Control chart. They are the tool used to determine if a process is in a state of statical control or how much variation exists in a process. So going to start, show control chart and variable chart for subgroup for x bar I. So we have the small window here. There are two options for we to choose. First is the own observation for a chart, but in one column. And second is the observation for a subgroup. And we have 5 subgroups in here. So we're gonna choose the second option. And then choose 1 to 5 and select them all. OK, and let the mini tab to run the result. This is the result we have from the data. So we have the above chart. This is the x-bar chart, which shows the average over 5 variables over each denominator. And the bottom chart, EDR chart, they show the range of denominator over the 5 variables. It can be seen that from both charts on the dot are kept inside the limit, not above or neither under. Therefore, we can say that the result is under control. They are really well controlled in this data. So that's the end of the data analysis.
Vũ Ngọc Anh Trúc, and today I will share with you about how to create the control check. We use X check to track process mean and variation when you have continuous data and a subgroup size of 9 or more. Use this control check to track process stability over time so you can identify and correct process uncertainties. Firstly, we have the Excel data file. So we will import the data here to the mini tab. We will choose file, open, and choose the file, the data file here, open. So we have the data here. Now we will create the X-bar object. Choose the statistics in the tool and choose the control check. Choose the variable check for subgroup and X-bar X. Here the panel will be shown here. We will choose the observation for a subgroup in one row of column because the data here in many column, and we will choose here are the analysis option for control check X by X, the scale label multiple graph data option X by option. With the scale time, we have two options here, index and stem. Index will label the x-axis with the number of subgroup, And stem will label the x-axis with the value contained in a column like contain information related to the date of sampling. So we will choose the index option. With the axis and tick, specify what information to display and where to display it. We will choose on the option here. And here we don't need to add anything. So we will choose OK. Next with the label the name of the track. We don't need to add here because the Minitab will auto add the name of the track. The multiple track, we just need to choose that when we have many keys in one string. So in this case, we don't need to add the multiple track. With the data option, we don't need to set up anything here. With the S option, the parameter, if we have mean and standard deviation, we can add in the Minitab. If not, we can skip it and the Minitab will auto calculate with the data we provide before. So we don't need to add here. Next with the estimate, we will choose S-bar option when the subgroup size from 2 to A, and when subgroup size more than A, we will choose only standard deviation. And here the subgroup size more than A, so we will choose only standard deviation. The limit, if we don't add anything here, the track will have the 3 sigma. So we should add the negative 2, negative 1, 1, 2 to show the 1 and 2 sigma. With the test, we should choose the perform on test for specific course. And with the stay small course display storage, we don't need to add anything, so we choose OK to complete. OK, and Minitab will show you the backtrack. So with the display extract here, there is the sample mean and sample standard deviation with the upper and lower limit here. And with the this result for X-bar check, we have 6 boy, 6 fail 8 boy in 50 to 20 and 50 boy within one standard deviation of center line above and below CL. With the extract here, we have 2 boy, 9 boy in a row on same side of center line, and the test failed at 8.9 to 19.